you give an example of 3 or 4 businesses that decided not to do something in Louisiana due to our tax exemption in the last 12 months?
The ITEP or just any tax exemption or?
ITEP.
I think, well, obviously, I think
3 or 4 examples.
the SASOL, the question is, can you give examples of businesses that haven't come here because of the ITEP? And this is the angle that opponents to ITEP love to ask, because unless you can show the A plus B equals C, they don't believe it. And I'm not saying that's who you are, but we hear that a lot from opponents to it. I would say, one, the SASOL testimonial is about as pretty clear as you can get. They said they would not have come if the ITEP wouldn't have been there. So I think there's a reverse engineering. And when I'm done with the question, I'd love to take a follow-up. There's a reverse engineering, that can take place there. I think the other piece is, and look, I hate to talk about a company, but when it comes to Exxon, we saw Baytown get a big investment not that long ago. Excuse me, Beaumont. And so if you go back decades in Louisiana, the Exxon refinery in Baton Rouge was the creme de la creme of the organization. And then over about 20 years ago, or whatever the time frame was, all of a sudden it became, well, Baton Rouge and Baytown, they're both big, they're both creme de la cremes. Now we're seeing major investments in Beaumont. And so if you just follow trend lines, I think you don't have an automatic cutoff on ITEP changes. What you have is a slow down of investment on the vine, so over time, you see facilities that maybe don't grow as fast, or they contract at some point. And so that is what we hear from economic developers, from companies. And I mean, that's the.
You have not heard ExxonMobil say they put their expansion in Beaumont because of tax exemption?
No.
So you're misleading what ExxonMobil has said.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm giving an example of what we've seen over time of a hostile tax climate. And there's probably a number of other factors out there. But we can put our head in the sand on this issue and say that, look, our complicated tax code, the way we collect it, the way we get business, it doesn't matter. We can say that all the bad tort laws we have, including high insurance, it doesn't matter. We can put our head in the sand on this issue. I would argue our head's been in the sand since the 80s crash. And that's why when you walk around downtown New Orleans, which used to look a lot like Houston, Atlanta, it doesn't anymore. Where a lot of those big companies, those big buildings that used to be filled with oil and gas, travel law firms are in those buildings right now. And so look, I'm not disparaging them. They're just doing what the Louisiana state policy has incentivized them to do. But I think we've got to take our head out of the sand at some point. And the last thing I would say is, if the tax code is so warm and fuzzy and friendly to the business community in Louisiana, where's all the investment? Why aren't our skylines in our cities growing like Houston and Atlanta and Nashville and these other cities in the South? I mean, at some point, we have to be able to use some common sense in these issues, that we can no longer say that a bad tort climate has no impact on insurance rates when we're so out of line. We can no longer say a complicated tax system and the way it's collected has no impact on business, they'll come anyway. And then watch other southern cities go up so fast while we just kind of like hang out in many of those areas. And so, look, again, I still think that compromise can be had on all those issues. I still think that many of the solutions don't require these big cataclysmic changes, just some tweaks here and there. And we're ready to work with anyone. I can't say we'll get to consensus on anything, but I think we have to, the last couple of years, it's been very in vogue in the Capitol to talk about business don't pay their fair share, and business needs to do more. And I think what you're starting to see is the product of some of that in our unemployment rates and the softness of our economy and some of the investments that we're seeing in other states.